Yo guys, what is up? It's Teach here, coming at you again with another video over on Ark Survival Ascended, and I wanted to show you a really neat trick on the island. It's actually something that's kind of seemed to be very new actually, and it's basically the fact that you can go inside of a cave and get some insane loot only specific to this cave, and yeah, it's a pretty neat thing. So I'll go ahead and show you that real quick. If you don't mind, smash that like button, leave a comment below for the algorithm, and then consider subbing to the channel. Now, if you do not know where we are at, I'm going to show you the coords by just having this little indicator on the screen, and in the upper left corner you'll see the coordinates constantly on the screen. And basically this is the entrance to Swamp Cave. So in case you didn't know this already, Swamp Cave actually has custom loot crates that go inside of it, unlike the underwater crates and then the generic cave loot crates. Swamp Cave actually has specific loot crates for it. If you look in the actual spawning of them, that's actually how it works, which is why this cave has such unique loot to it and why it's such a broken thing for blueprints. Now, specifically, this cave will give you a ridiculous amount of FLAK BPs. I'm going to show you how to run it. The dinos are all gone, but there's a ton of dinos. I'll explain how to do it easily, all that kind of stuff. So if you don't mind, let's go ahead and get started. So anyways, inside of the cave, right, you cannot fit a megatherium into the entrance of this cave. You can get it into the bottom side of this cave, but you'll have to wait to throw it on the inside. Now, before you even go inside of this cave, you're either going to have a gas mask and wear that because the air inside is toxic, or you will have to use a full scuba suit in order to protect you from the actual stuff inside the cave. So either one of those two options will work. And then as you're going in, you will not have to worry about wild dinos attacking you until you get around your first corner. Now, once you see your first mushroom, this is the first area where wild dinosaurs can attack you. Now, in this zone, just be aware of that. They typically spawn right over in this zone, but this is also where you'll be able to actually throw out your tame. You can see me right here. This is your megatherium, and if you go directly above this spot, you can actually place down a cryo fridge on official servers, allowing you to technically be inside of range. Now, this will let you clear out the first zone, and you will not need to, or you won't be able to actually get him past that zone. So you're gonna have to cryo him back up, aggro the dinos to you, and that is how you get to the first zone. Now, I'm not going to show you this because you can figure out exactly what I'm trying to say. And yeah, so you can't fit through that area, but there's a ton of dinos in here. So definitely aggro them and then pull them out. But what you want to do is there's a whole bunch of spawn points. I'm going to show you all the actual loot spawn points. The one thing, again, watch out for, when you see these larger size rooms in here, these are where the dinos tend to spawn and they will congregate in a massive number. So just be ready for that and have your megatherium ready to go. Now, as you're going down, you're going to open up into the first room. Now, there are two main drop points that you want to pay attention to, going left and right. Once you get into this first main room from this little entrance right here, the rules are as follows. If you go uphill, you end out of the cave. If you go downhill, you end up in the cave. Now, it's very simple. Again, there's going to be a lot of leeches and a lot of stuff in here. So use your megatherium, or you can run this whole cave with the Beezle Bufo, and those, I mean, high level, high saddles, I still recommend. So going left is going to get you to the yellow loot crates faster, and then going right will get you to the actual blue side faster, and then to the red room quicker. Now, if you go to the right over here, I'll go ahead and show you what it looks like. You're going to end up in a area, this little mini cave right here. This is always going to give you a blue loot crate, always in this spot where you get a blue loot crate. And again, these are the custom loot crates for this one. You'll notice that I get something decent, so there's some ghillie boots inside of that. And then if you go to the left over here, you're going to be spat back into the main room. Now, you will have to crouch through this area, so just be aware when you're actually having your megatherium out. So there are two loot crates, I guess three technically, in this area that you need to be aware of. One is just spawning right in the middle down here, and you can see here's what I'm talking about. This is a official server bar, or I guess these are non-official server ratings, but these can technically spawn in on official servers. You can see that this is not a single player, but it's just spawned in, so it hits the cap immediately. And that's because these are red crates with the Swamp Cave actual designation on it. So it's Swamp Cave _C instead of just under loot crate. So you can see this is insane, right? And that's gonna, and pretty much every time you're gonna get something crazy. Like here's that FLAK blueprint's wild. So, and that's because this cave specifically has access to the Swamp Crate system. Now, again, you're going to run across and you're going to see there's a loot crate up there. I put all of these in the location where they will spawn just so you can see. And you go up this little mini pathway, and there's two that can spawn over here, and they will both be yellow. And you can see, again, there's one right here. It's like a little overlook of the edge. And then if you go back inside, technically speaking, there can be one spawned right here too. It's like a little mini corner. Now, again, you'll notice that there's some pretty good loot that I'm getting inside of these. These are 1x settings, by the way. So this is 1x solo player. So this is one of the best loot farms that you can use on the entire island. It's probably the best cave. I've run all of them, and this one works out by far the best. Now, in this room, and kind of just keep moving towards the bottom, right? This is the red room, right? This is where you can get 2 ascendant loot crates in the very bottom here. And you can see, again, look at the blueprints. That's what we're looking for. So you'll get one in the water right there. There will be a bunch of leeches, so be aware of those in the bottom. And then if you go up to the top up here, there's a little ledge kind of directly across from it, and it'll spawn in this zone. And you can see, look at that blueprint, pretty nice. Now, as long as you're in this cave, this is also an artifact cave. So what you can do is you've got 2 ways, basically. You can see that there's that method, and then sticking all the way to the left, you'll run up this little mini hill. And then by running up this hill, you run into the artifact, which is obviously quite useful. Now, some things can spawn up here, and you cannot get your megatherium the entire way up here, so just be aware of that. Wait a minute, did I just take the wrong turn? Yeah, I did. Okay, oopsies. That's the hidden pathway. There's 2 of them. Now I need to figure it out again. I just told you guys the wrong directions, and I need to backtrack myself. There we go, back in the room. It's this one. Sorry. And again, you're just looking for like a weird straight up offshoot, and this kind of just like goes straight up real quickly. And you'll end up seeing what I'm seeing right now, and then hear the weird noise. And then boom, your artifact is right there. And you can see there's the artifact of the immune. You used to be able to kind of cheese and get directly into this zone through a little area, but you're no longer able to do that in Ark Survival Ascended. They fixed that. So definitely check that out as long as you're here. But this cave will give you the best loot in the entire game. Now, technically speaking, you can increase the probability of getting better loot by taming one of the underwater loot gathering increasing things. However, it can be difficult to grab one of those and then get down here in the 30-minute window that you have it. So technically it's 6 hours now, but you can see this is all from this actual run. Pretty good loot. Those FLAK BPs are very nice, and this is the best cave in the game to loot FLAK BPs, and that's again simply due to the fact that they have access to this insane special supply drop that only goes in this cave. And in order to get out of this cave, by the way, the simple rule of thumb is make it back to this main chamber here and then go uphill. Going uphill will get you out of the cave pretty quickly. And this is probably, it's not really even close either. I've run the underwater, the Cave of Lost Hope, Cave of Lost Faith, and nothing even comes close to this cave. It's by far the best. It's the easiest to run. And again, having a gas mask, there is a bunch of stuff in here, but using a decent megatherium and even just a Beezel Bufo will get you through the entire cave without much of a problem. And now that cryopods are back, obviously it's pretty simple. Oh, come on, buddy. Make sure you pick up your megatherium, but just have it ready to go. And yes, it can be a pain in the butt, but it is well worth it because the probability of you getting a FLAK BP is very high inside of this cave. So we're going to go ahead and make it through the top here, and that way you can see that's the render glitch right there, by the way. So it renders the upper world, and then we are at the entrance to the cave. So anyways, this is the best cave by far, and hopefully this video helps you out. And other than that, teach.